Welcome back to Baseball Buckley. I know it's been a while, school and everything, but now it's February break, so I'm going to try to make a few more podcasts today, and then I'm going to try to stick with it throughout the baseball season. So today is just going to be an overview of every single thing, or mostly every single thing that happened throughout this crazy offseason. Obviously, the Astros cheating scandal and the Red Sox cheating scandal came out, suspensions and everything. So now we're going to get to the acquisitions, moves, and everything. So right now we're going to start off with the biggest move in the offseason in probably a long time. The Boston Red Sox traded Mookie Betts and David Price to the Dodgers for Alex Verdugo, an outfielder, and two prospects, Jeter Downs, a shortstop, and Connor Wong, a catcher. So Mookie was the best generational talent for the Red Sox, probably since Ted Williams or Carl Yastrzemski. And trading him with one season to go on his contract, I don't really like that idea. We should have just waited it out, and if he wasn't doing good, trade him at the deadline. The David Price part I get, because he was getting $96 million over the next 3 seasons, and he wasn't like a Garrett Cole type pitcher or a Steven Strasburg type pitcher or even a Chris Sale type pitcher that's worth that type of money. But for trading Mookie and David Price, I don't feel like we got enough back. Only Verdugo, who could probably be very good. Jeter Downs, who we already have a shortstop that's going to be really good. Xander Bogaerts, he already is really good. And Connor Wong, I've never even heard of him, so he can't really be that good. And we still have to pay half of David Price's contract over the next 3 years, so I don't feel like the Sox got enough back. I'd say the Dodgers definitely won that trade. Another Red Sox thing, I have a couple more coming up. Alex Cora was fired in wake of the cheating scandal. The Red Sox signed outfielder Kevin Pillar to a 1-year deal. I really like this because I feel like he's Jackie Bradley Jr., can hit 40 points better, has the same defense, and doesn't cost as much money as Jackie. So I feel like the Red Sox should trade Jackie Bradley for a bullpen arm and keep Kevin Pillar and have the outfield be Benintendi, Pillar, and Verdugo. Now this is definitely the move that hurt me as a Red Sox fan the most by far, and I'm pretty sure it hurt every Red Sox fan the most. Brock Holt signed with the Brewers last night. And Brock Holt, he wasn't the best player in the world, obviously. He wasn't horrible. I mean, he has the only postseason cycle in MLB history. But the reason everyone's upset is because he was like the greatest human being in that locker room out of all 25 guys and coaches. And he has his son Griff, and Red Sox fans just loved him. He was a fan favorite throughout Boston, and it's sad to see him go. Now, I got 2 pitching moves here. The White Sox signed starter Dallas Keuchel, and the White Sox definitely had a good offseason. They signed a few guys, Dallas Keuchel obviously being one of them. He's a great pitcher, good acquisition for them. Madison Bumgarner of the San Francisco Giants, he signed with the Diamondbacks, which I don't think anybody really saw coming. I didn't see the Diamondbacks trying to make a move for him. But I feel like the Diamondbacks are on the edge of being a wild card team next season, and then they signed Bumgarner, which is really going to help them get over that edge. The San Diego Padres traded for outfielder Tommy Pham from the Tampa Bay Rays, and Tommy Pham, he's a good player. He'll help the Padres. I mean, the Padres need more help than just Tommy Pham to win 60 games next year, but he's definitely going to help them in the long run if he stays around. Another White Sox acquisition, Yasmani Grandal, catcher, signed with them he used to play for the Milwaukee Brewers. That's another good signing. Grandal, they haven't had an amazing catcher recently, so Grandal's definitely going to help with that. And the White Sox, they're going to make an AL Central push this year. They might even be better than the Indians and maybe even clinch a wild card spot. So, another pitcher move, but this time it's going to be a trade. The Texas Rangers traded for starting pitcher Corey Kluber from the Cleveland Indians, and I didn't really see this coming. When I saw the move, I was kind of surprised that the Indians traded Kluber, because the Indians are going to be fighting for that second spot in the AL Central this year with the White Sox, because I think the Twins will definitely win that division. And trading Kluber away, who's your best pitcher, AL Cy Young winner, I just didn't see anything that's going to help them in that move. Next deal is a pitcher. He signed with the Atlanta Braves, Cole Hamels. Cole Hamels has been around the league for a while. He's pitched with the Cubs, the Phillies, and I feel like the Braves, they did good last year. They made the playoffs. They won the NL East, and I feel like the NL East is definitely going to be a division that's going to have a good race next year. And between them, the reigning World Series champion Washington Nationals, and the New York Mets. So I feel like picking up Cole Hamels, he's a veteran that can help in the locker room with the young guys like Acuna and Albies. That's definitely going to help them a lot. Out to Los Angeles, but not the Dodgers, we have the Los Angeles Angels signed third baseman Anthony Rendon. This deal, I thought they were going to sign Garrett Cole, but they didn't. They signed Rendon. So I feel like this deal is going to definitely help them in the AL West this year, But trying to get over the Astros, bang, bang, change up. Trying to get over the Astros and the Athletics is going to be tough for them. But they have a good team now. They have Mike Trout, Justin Upton, Shohei Ohtani, Anthony Rendon. So I feel like that team might even get a wild card spot. All right. I just mentioned this, actually, in the last one. Garrett Cole, pitcher, signed with the New York Yankees. As a Red Sox fan, I hate this because I hate the Yankees, obviously, and Garrett Cole just signed with them, who's an amazing pitcher. So it's going to be harder this year to beat them, but I feel like the Sox still have a good team, and we could probably beat them. All right. Another pitcher move, Zach Wheeler. He signed with the Philadelphia Phillies. And the Phillies, I don't think they're going to contend in the NL East this year, even with Harper and Wheeler. And they actually signed Didi Gregorius, too. But I still don't feel like they have a good enough team to play in the National League East and have a high winning percentage over there. The reigning World Series champion Washington Nationals re-signed not even their ace, but their second pitcher, Steven Strasburg, to a 7-year deal to come back. Strasburg, he was a big part of them winning the World Series last year. Obviously, he won World Series MVP, so that's a big deal for them. A couple of arbitration things. Eduardo Rodriguez lost his arbitration to the Red Sox, and he'll be paid $8.3 million next year. Josh Hader lost his arbitration to the Brewers. Now, another Angels move, they signed Julio Teheran, who's used to pitch for the Braves. He's definitely going to help the Angels, so the Angels might be a good team next year. All right, next up, the Angels also got another pitcher. They traded for Dylan Bundy from Baltimore. So they might have a very good rotation next year with Ohtani and Teheran and Bundy. That might be a good rotation. Now we got another pitcher move. Hyun-Jin Ryu signed with Toronto Blue Jays. And that's a big deal for them because in the AL East, packed with star power in the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Rays. They definitely need to contend. And they also signed Travis Shaw, an infielder, and Tanner Roark, another pitcher. So they're definitely trying to get their team better for a possible run next year. But they're definitely a dark horse in the AL East. Marcell Ozuna, outfielder who used to play for the Cardinals, signed with the Atlanta Braves. And the Atlanta Braves are a very good team already with Cole Hamels and Marcell Ozuna now and Acuna and Albies. So I feel like they're definitely going to have a good shot at winning the NL East next year. All right, Will Smith, reliever. He also signed with the Atlanta Braves, so the Braves are adding bullpen help. So this is definitely going to help them down the road, definitely later into the season. The D-backs, other than Madison Bumgarner, they signed a lot of players. They got Starling Marte. They traded for him from the Pirates. That's a big deal for them. Hector Rendon, reliever, used to play for the Astros. And Cole Calhoun, former outfielder for the Los Angeles Angels. That's definitely going to help the Diamondbacks, but I don't think it's going to help them enough. 3 moves for the Mets, all pitchers here. They signed reliever Dylan Betances. He used to play for the Yankees. Good help for them, trying to make a possible wild card run next year in the National League. They also signed former Red Sox pitcher Rick Porcello, 2016 Cy Young winner. I loved him when he was on the Sox, but it was definitely time for him to go. He got 1 year, $10 million, which I think is more money than he really deserves. Michael Wacha, pitcher who used to play for the St. Louis Cardinals, he actually started Game 6 when the Red Sox won the World Series back in 2013. He started it for the St. Louis Cardinals. So he's still around. He signed with the Mets. That could help them. But they probably are going to have to make maybe one more move later in the offseason during spring training to maybe put them over the edge. All right, a few more moves here. Todd Frazier, third baseman, used to play for the Reds, the Yankees. He won the Home Run Derby back in Cincinnati. He signed with the Rangers. They don't have Beltre anymore, obviously. He retired. So they're trying to fill that third baseman spot. The Reds, they got Mike Moustakas, who I thought was going to the Athletics, and I'm pretty sure I might have mentioned this in my last podcast, that he did sign with Cincinnati. They also signed Nicholas Castellanos, so I feel like those two players are going to help them this year, but I really don't feel like they're going to have a shot at winning that NL Central. The Twins, they picked up Kenta Maeda in the trade that sent Mookie and David Price to L.A., Brutsar Gatterall, who was originally going to come to Boston, ended up going to L.A., and Kenta Maeda went to Minnesota, along with Josh Donaldson, former third baseman for the Blue Jays and Twins, Braves, signed with the Twins, surprising, trying to get them definitely that AL Central spot. And the last move we have is Edwin Encarnacion. He signed with the White Sox. The White Sox definitely had probably the best offseason in baseball. They signed Dallas Keuchel. They signed Edwin Encarnacion. And I'm pretty sure they signed one more. Yasmani Grandal. So they definitely had one of the best off seasons in baseball, trying to up their game out in the AL Central. That's all the moves for today. So I'm going to probably post another video today, maybe in like an hour or so. And that video will be my predictions for next season. I already did one of these back when I was posting podcasts Christmas break, but that was before all these moves started. So I'm going to do one after the offseason is finished. That will come out in maybe about an hour. Thanks for listening, guys.